Hey guys, welcome to Levelin Up with Brigham Blackham. I'm so excited. I have all of my good friends from the final percent. Yes.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that we did that was really special was we all went through this experience with Greg Kimble. I can't say enough about him. I'm so thankful for what he's done to help every single one of us be able to live into who we're supposed to be. Now, the purpose of this podcast today is going to be how we can take action based on what we just learned. What are some of the things that we've experienced, some of the takeaways? And we're just going to have a mindstorm is what I told Kit.
Yeah, a mindstorm.
A mindstorm. So we're going to start over here with my good buddy, Tom. Tell us a little bit about this whole experience, what it was like for you.
It's been a great day. I mean, we started by kind of represencing the different aspects of putting a speech together and looking at, potentially creating a career as a speaker, having to expand our business. I want you to know that I'm not actually sunburnt. That's just the lighting. A little distracting looking at myself. I'm like, wow, like I spent way too long in the sauna. One of the things that really was really impactful for me was the conversation we got to have with Woody, because he's been doing this for 20 years, and just the nuggets, chicken nuggets,
Not chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets.
Getting his perspective on the craft of writing and the mastering storytelling and stagecraft and speaking, and like really getting that that's a learnable skill, and that all of us have an opportunity to practice and build that was from someone who's so masterful was really impactful for me. And then a number of us did a speech and then got back up and did it again a little bit later, and everybody's was shifted by the conversation and the training that we had. Right, even though we weren't like workshopping it, like you could see things that everybody put into their speech from the conversation that we had between the first round and the second. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was cool to see that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you so much. Let's go over here. Lora, what was one of the takeaways that you felt was impactful that you're like, I can use that the very next time I'm on stage?
For me, I have a lot of difficulty refining the information that I want to provide, right? And being able to see other people doing it, being able to get the information that we did about taking the pieces and refining it and being able to add to it later if you needed to add more content, really helped me be able to start narrowing it down and getting out of the sea of chaos, right? When it came to trying to put this all together. For me, I had some of those abilities before. Now it became a cluster and much more the hairy ball of twine, type of scenario. And really being able to start taking it, and really within a very short period of time, because I'm just going to be honest, I threw mine away. And and for me, it was like, great, I'm going to have to start over. And while everybody is talking, I am going to have to try to figure out how to put something together that is impactful and still be able to tell the story that I would like to tell in that period of time. And for me, that gave me the ability to just take action, like just go do it. And do what we were talking about type of things. And, we saw it with a variety of people within the room. Like I wasn't the only one, that didn't realize that today was not necessarily going to be, here. I thought this was happening, months and months ago. So, it was taking those pieces and being able to refine down and take something which was empowering now that I know a little bit more how I can do that. And just having taken that action, now it'll be easier the next time and easier the next time and easier the next time.
Absolutely. It's that iteration that you're getting. You're like, oh, I feel confident. I'm not only taking the action today, this is going to make it easier for tomorrow and the day after. So speaking of taking action, even though it was a little scary, I want to turn the time over to Michelle. Tell us your thoughts right before you went up on stage, because you almost said, I don't know if I want to do this. What's going on?
Like her, had all my content, threw everything away because I thought we were done. And
I'm brainstorming as this whole day's going, like, what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna talk about? They picked my number and I'm like, I'm not going. And I said, okay, everybody's like, you gotta go. But we all have stories, and telling a story is not, I used to think of a story as bragging, and it's not bragging. We're branding ourselves, and we're also being able to help somebody else in life that's out there that has the same story, that's scared to come out and tell their story. And so when they can resonate with your story, it's like, oh, I can come out of my shell.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was like, okay, you've got to do this. And then with Greg telling me, you can do this, just be you. And I'm like, okay, I was nervous, which is me. I came out and I like to talk. I like to maybe not so much present, but I like to help others so that, again, that story, helping others. And so that was for the whole thing that was going through my mind.
I love it.
And do you
That's
guys
much.
remember her first presentation on the Zoom call? And I don't know if you know this, but you, oh my gosh, you have just come up
Nailed it.
levels and levels. But I know to you, you just feel the same because it was me. But no, and I think everybody
See, I
here
remember back
can
then.
see
Yeah.
how you've really, really improved. I mean, you're one of the final 9 here. I mean, that's saying something.
That's impressive.
Absolutely.
That was like, showed up last night because it was like a last minute. Hey, who's all coming to dinner? Dinner. Owen. Oh yeah, I remember Owen. I remembered his name. And then I started connecting like Owen. Oh, Greg. And this is like, it was, I felt embarrassed to tell Greg. And I'm like, I'm connecting everything together. Stop showing this.
Okay.
I'm connecting everything together. Oh, tomorrow? And then this last minute, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna decide if you guys are gonna be on nationals. Oh, wow, really? Okay, what am I gonna talk about? You know, like, it's like, it was really scary.
Cool opportunity though.
Yeah,
Excellent
great opportunity, yes.
So one of the things that that I found really valuable from this whole experience was that whatever your story was, you were able to hone it, you were able
Yeah.
to craft it. And I saw every single one of you, and myself included, be
Yeah.
able to enhance your clarity, simplify, and also get more to the point.
Mhm.
So
Well, I think one of the other things that I took away from this, it wasn't just Greg and Woody talking. Like I took points from everyone here
Mhm.
as they were doing. I was like, oh, that's brilliant the way you did that. Oh, I really liked your story about the phone. Yours like really hit home because I was like, oh, my story. Who wants to hear about somebody that was successful
Mhm.
and got into this because that's kind of what I thought in my mind, not realizing, oh, wait a minute, there is a really powerful story there that can be told. You just have to understand, like to Laura's point, some of the framework behind it, how to focus in on what you want. And one of the big takeaways that I had was, I think one of the most important points is nobody really wants to hear your bio,
Mm.
but what they want to hear is what was the process that you took in order to accomplish what your goals were.
absolutely love that, because none of us are famous enough to write a memoir. That was a great Greg Kimble quote. So good. So Loretta, I would
Yes.
love to hear your experience all through this. You did such a great job with your presentation. I loved it. Very theatrical, by the way. So great. So tell me a little bit more.
Channeled you.
Oh, I'm so glad. You channeled me. I love it.
Love it.
So tell us a little bit how this whole experience worked for you.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, sometimes when situations come up, it's like, oh, I gotta be where and I gotta do what, and I gotta rewrite my speech because I don't know where the old one is and I can't remember it, and it's like, Here's what I've learned to live by. It is impossible for anything that you complete to return unto you void, but anything that you leave unfinished returns to you as a deficit. I say that because I had to be here.
Mm.
It's like it was no choice. I don't care how I was going to get here or what I had to do. I had to be here. I would have missed the magic.
Yeah.
I would have missed the brilliance of not one individual, but collectively together, how powerful we are in all our stories. And it creates a ripple effect to others out into the world. So I'm so excited that we all came and said yes and shared our stories.
Absolutely. And this is part of this Mindstorm that we're talking about.
I'll have 5 minutes on that
Yeah.
stage, right?
Oh my goodness, it's so true. So Cassandra, tell me a little bit about your take on this. What are some of your takeaways? Some of the nuggets, not just the chicken nuggets, but the nuggets of wisdom that
Oh,
you've taken
God.
away.
I think that it was very interesting because even though we were all told the same information, we all had very different presentations or speeches that came out of all the information that was presented to us. It's like, here are all the things you need to know, and then we all came up with something entirely different. So that was very interesting. Obviously, I know like different life things and experiences plays into that, but at the same time, it's also like what we created, like the assignment is completely different. Like what we understood from what we were told was also completely different. And then also, you know, obviously our individual styles, but yeah,
I love
the
that.
format was still very different.
Yeah, I think it's really important that everybody was very unique in the way they interpreted the information. To kind of your point, I love the fact that even though there's a framework around giving a speech, and everybody's individual story in there is unique, that framework is very structured in there, but yet we all were able to take it, interpret it, and bring it to life in our own way, which was really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's similar to the way that we have a guardrail on any highway. You don't want to bounce off the off the side.
no.
You want to make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
And because all of us played within that framework, we were able to have some really amazing things come out of it.
Yeah.
We accepted those as rules, not anybody else's rules, but our own rules.
Yeah, I gotta say, everybody did an excellent job staying in their lane.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Cassandra, when you got up there the second time, and I know the first time you were a little bit apprehensive, you fixed that.
Yeah.
Like this,
Was-
okay?
I had the safety-
Right, exactly.
I had the safety of
And-
all my
and
written text.
I really like the way you drove that point home. It was taking that step and taking that next step and how that
Yeah.
cascades. I mean, that was
And
fantastic.
I think you two should team up because you have confidence out the roof.
Yes.
You look at the way you're sitting. I mean, you just show up and you have confidence.
Yeah.
You need to
That's
take
right.
some of that confidence and give it to her. Okay, exactly. And she's gonna take some of her storytelling and authenticity and transfer over to you. And I think you guys would be a dynamic duo.
But
Absolutely.
it's the beauty of a mastermind because we each have gift and abilities.
I saw.
Just that
Mindstorm, I love it.
One story to share with one another, and that's what makes it beautiful. It's like a tapestry.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
I love it. Now, Erica, I would love to hear your take.
Oh, man.
Bring it home for us. What was the thing that you're like, this was worth the whole experience for me?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me was when Greg said there were 90 people who signed up for the mastermind and there was 9 of us here. And
Yeah.
everyone had the same opportunity to show up, right? We're here because we chose to show up, not because we were hand selected based on our skills that we were, you know, given. And so I think, you know, really looking at whether or not you're willing to show up and the difference that it makes, that was huge. I mean, Woody gave us his time and energy just the same, right? We could have been a room full of people or what have you. And I just really, that for me was the biggest part. But I mean, there's so many nuggets, listening to everyone speak and being able to say, oh, that was good. I like how they did that, you know, and just, I can put that into any conversation that I'm delivering moving forward. I'm leading introductions now and being able to be able to craft my story in a way that is compelling. And then also to be able to pivot, because I had a 15-minute, I knew we were gonna do 15 minutes at nationals. So I was like, this is gonna be a 15-minute. You have 5 minutes. That's different. 15 minutes. Okay. Two different things. So I had to, you know, it was like, okay, what is the fat that I can trim? How can I craft my story so that it's still, my points still come across and people are still like moved and it still makes sense in like, and then consider your audience, like all those variables, but like, just overall, I think being in the same room with other people that are like-minded, time and time again, there's nothing like it.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
there's
go ahead.
one thing that was really fun was during Loretta's, when you listed the 3 things,
Uh-huh.
everyone like took notes.
We all took notes. I don't know if you noticed. We all know. We're all like, we don't want to write this down. We're like, okay. Yes, ma'am.
What I love about that, so as a teacher, guys, I use this all the time. Those are called engagement questions.
Yeah.
When you ask a question with a specific action tied to it, you are demanding that engagement.
Mm.
And that's what Loretta did so well. She's like, you better write this down. And all of us, whoa, yeah, that's a good thing to write down.
Is that I've done speaking in professional from a corporate standpoint to organizations, not necessarily in this particular capacity.
Mhm.
But one of the things that I know that everybody realizes now is that when you get on stage, you have instant credibility. When
Yep.
people are in the audience, they're looking at you for something
Right.
important to say, because they're thinking, well, they wouldn't have put this person on stage if they don't have something important to say. And I'm glad we've all exchanged information, because I want to track all of our careers going forward, with the 9 of us now, everybody did a phenomenal job, and there's no reason why we can't just take it and, 5 years from now, do like a where are they now? type
Yeah,
deal.
exactly.
This is
So-
the original
The
Mindstorm.
original Mindstorm.
Exactly.
Yes.
Where are they now?
Love it.
So
So,
Reagan's
oh,
gonna have to bring us
yes,
that.
go ahead.
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
Say,
We'll-
hey,
we'll do
I got the
this.
9.
The 9 Mindstormers.
The 9.
The 9.
Yes,
We're
the
the
final
9.
9. I
Oh,
love it. Now, one of the things that Woody brought up and Greg brought up multiple times that
That is.
yeah, I think that was so valuable was when you show up first to serve, you show up to give rather than to get.
Mhm.
You don't show up on stage and say, oh, well, where's my speaking fee? Do you have my Evian? Where,
Oh,
please, I will need a black clicker, not a white one. And you don't show up with a chip on your shoulder. We show up to give value, to give service. And the thing that I thought was really awesome was like, hey, how do we provide value? Woody simplified it so much. He's like, solve a problem. What problem did this solve for you guys? We're going to start with Tom.
Wonderful. What problem did this
Solve for you.
event?
Yeah.
So,
How is this valuable for you?
I do really well with deadlines.
Mhm.
So if there isn't a deadline, then the odds of me doing anything at all is really slim. So having this speaker training and having an end goal of being on stage, like we started this 11 months ago.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, 12 months, be good enough at speechcraft to bring value to a stage in front of 600 entrepreneurs and business owners. So I've taken action in improving my speaking and stage presence that I wouldn't have taken if it weren't for this structure.
I love that. Thank you. Laura, what do you think?
For me, it just was really about structure and framework, right? Lots of stories. I have lots of different information to tell, those types of things, but getting it in a structure that I can provide in a certain amount of time that can give me a pathway to see it and not just be as random. So I really believe that that was where I got the most value out of it. And that's what I was looking for with this. It's like, I know how to talk, right? The talking has never been a short point for me, type of scenario. People are usually like, maybe less is more, type of scenario, but it was really the framework. Being able to put it together in a way that I can have a structured time going through. So
I love that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Vince, go ahead.
And then to your point, for me, it was the importance of having structure. I inherited the gift of gab from my mother and the rest of my family, but structure is optional. Humor is not. You have to somehow engage people, and humor is, with my family, any statement by anybody in any family gathering can turn into a 5-minute monologue. And any one of my family members will go off and we'll laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. But it's the structure, the importance of the structure, that wasn't something that I really was even aware of. And we learned more about the 4 supports. You know, I'm, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna incorporate this with the 5 Cs, with the 3 Qs, with the 4 Ms.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. So true.
I love it.
Yeah, so for me, I all the same things that they said. I love the structure and all those things, but I think one of the biggest values wasn't even about speaking. I think one of the biggest values and takeaways I got was the proximity. It's the proximity being around all of you.
Yeah.
It's the proximity about being around Bob and Jay and Woody and Greg and Owen, like just the people that are here, being able to connect with them. That's something that you can't put a price tag on. I think that's every bit as valuable as even the speaking training that we got to do.
I love it. It's something that Greg pops into my head
Yeah.
all the time. Moved people, move
Move
people.
people. Yeah.
We all had to move from where we were to here because
Yeah.
that proximity to power is so
Yeah.
important.
And get this on tape. You should do another version of this podcast with us at Nationals.
Yeah, that'd be
You know what
awesome.
I mean? Hey guys, we're
Okay.
Nationals.
Yeah.
And what are you learning?
Cheering
What do
on
you
the person on
like?
stage.
Right, exactly.
I love that. We're gonna do that.
Supporting whoever
Yeah.
is up there.
I think that will
I think it'd be
amazing.
super cool. Yeah.
All right, now, Michelle, tell us your biggest value that you got this. What was the problem that it solved for you?
Well, getting out of scarcity, kind of just being put on the spot saying, okay, now you gotta go. And then another takeaway was just, even my mindset was like, if I don't go up there, I was able to surround myself with kind of seeing everybody, getting feedback from, well, listening to everybody's story and knowing, okay, you know, I can go out there and I can still continue to do this. But learning that scarcity, just go do it. And it was funny because I was telling my girls and I was telling I don't know if you guys heard of that, the video, I think Mike's played it before. Michael Huggins, it's called Art. And Art says, just do it.
Yeah, just
Oh,
do it
yeah,
and do it
just
and
do
do it
it.
till the
Yeah.
job gets
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, and so I'm always telling my children that, and I'm like, okay, I gotta take, you know,
Got to do it.
I just
Yeah,
gotta do it. So
Yeah.
just do it. And so I'm gonna tell them I just did it.
You just did it. I need a high five for that. Yes, so good. Love it. Now, Loretta, tell us a little bit, what did this solve for you? What was the value that you got from this whole experience?
It's really more of seeing an opportunity to practice, not so much solving a problem, but when you have an opportunity, and opportunities are all around us. The question is, do we choose to take advantage of those opportunities or not? So I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity to practice, to hone your craft, to speak on stage, to interact with people, to interact with the audience, to see how it lands, and not be attached to the results, which is so critical because we are all winners. We all have an opportunity to practice our craft, to interact, to bond. And so I just appreciated the opportunity. I'm like, yes, let's do this.
I love it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
so good.
that's one of the crazy things. Like Erica said it, 90 people started this group
Yeah.
right after Nationals last year. We're down to 9. I mean, there's 9 people that decided to take advantage of this opportunity.
Give yourselves a hand,
Yeah.
guys. That's awesome. All right, Cassandra, what was the value for you?
I honestly still did not, like right up until like today, quite literally, was not planning to even not even an iota of a thought of standing on a stage and being a speaker. I'm like, why? Why would I want to do that? I don't know. But today was like, oh, well, maybe.
Oh, so you created a possibility for yourself because of all of this experience with all of us.
Right.
So where do you see yourself in a year from now?
I haven't committed that far.
She's going to be on stage. We don't know where yet,
We don't know what yet.
but she's going to be on stage. Yes. Okay, Erica, what about for you?
So believe it or not, I know Vince was saying I exude confidence and I appreciate that, but I never knew how to tell my story. For me, I was, when I first met Scott, I was like, I have to be like Scott to make sales. He's so good at sales. I suck at sales. Be like Scott. And so this was an opportunity to craft my story and to find my voice and to really hone in on how do I even do that? Where do I even start? And having a structure, a framework actually had me put one foot in front of the next and just build it out and then just practice it until felt comfortable. So
I love it.
Love it.
You
Just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you and do it.
Just be you and do it. I love that. Now, to close off this whole Mindstorm, I just wanted to share thanks to all of you for putting your full effort out there. Because there's so many people that don't go that final percent in their life. They don't go and move to where the magic can happen. And I'm really grateful for every single one of you, because I consider all of you my friends.
Yes.
And you inspire me, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, not just to do a podcast and recap, but to continue to inspire each other. So as you guys may know, my whole mission is to positively impact, inspire, and uplift others to have joy, specifically leaders to have joy as they're reaching their God-given potential. And I can see the potential in all of you has been elevated because of this experience. And I know I feel better because of being around you. So any final thoughts before we turn this over and just say thanks for being part of it?
I would say the trick is don't let it be the last one.
Yeah.
Like, let's
Yeah.
just build
Yeah.
upon it. Let's keep going with
Mm.
this thing. I love move to the locations that can get you in front of these types of people, participate in events and have fun. Be yourself and have fun.
I absolutely agree. Any other thoughts?
Be you, go and rock the world with your story, because there are people that want to hear what you have to say.
And more
Absolutely.
importantly, you are the only one that can tell your story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amen.
For sure.
Amen.
I think that is a great thing to wrap on. You're the only one that can tell your story. Thanks so much, Vince, for sharing that. And all of you for going the final percent.
Yeah.
Give yourselves a hand. This has been a wonderful experience. Thanks, guys. Like and
Thank you.
follow. And thank you. And thank you. And 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 you. Have a wonderful day, guys. God bless. See ya. Woo. Oh. Go vertigo.